So I've got some great news. The video is back, and even better news, the Pioneers are in the lead. First pitch is going to be taken for ball one to Zach Odom. Actually, looks like the video is working well, which is good. At this stage, it's really what we need. That one now 2-0 for Odom. And if something works, I'm not going to try to zoom in more. I'm just going to keep it as this. But it looks like we've got it back up and running. So I do apologize having to go back and forth with all these streams. But I think we finally got things set tonight as the count is now 3-0. It's the number 13 for the Newark Pilots, who takes to the mound, being Angelo Deere. Ball four. Odom is going to be on in 4 straight pitches. That puts a second runner aboard with 2 away. Here comes Logan Scheider now with 2 aboard and 2 outs. And I'll give you a quick update for Angelo Deere. He's pitched in 13 games, 20 innings, 15 walks to 15 strikeouts. Actually does enter with a 9.45 ERA as he's surrendered 22 runs, 21 earned so far. But he's been a guy they trust a lot out of the bullpen, as he has pitched quite a few innings. And they're going to trust him to get out of this jam right here. However, that's his 5th ball he's thrown in a row. He let Odom get on with 4 straight. Scheider now up. He had gotten an RBI in his previous at-bat. His count now goes to 1-1. He takes that one. Pretty sure that's Brian Joe over at first base. Over at third base, Coach Billy Waldeman for the Pios. 1-2. I will say I'm really glad that we have been able to get this camera back up and running. It just was an issue of overheating earlier. But things should now be good to go. 1-2 pitch here. For Scheider, he's going to now send that, and the Pios will extend their lead. 1 run will score, but it looks like the other will be held up. Scheider, he's going to actually get to second as he capitalizes on a little bit relaxed play from left field, bring it back in. But Scheider capitalizes with another RBI, this time an RBI double. Blake will get to third. Blake gets home. Odom gets to third. But the Pios unleashing a hit parade here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And I'll admit, it was a little scary seeing the team go down 3-0 and respond with 6 straight outs. But this is a Pios team that is hungry for playoff success. A Pios team that is hungry to fight back. So I'm definitely not surprised to see them fighting back here. Barabee takes ball 1. Ball 2 now taken. Barabee, he has 3 RBIs this season and 2 hits. So he's able to hit when it's clutch. You know, Pios do have a 2-run lead, but I would call this a clutch situation. As now the count is 3-0, and that could see top of the order Max Mandler come back in the game. No one's warming up for Newark, unsurprisingly. They've got 2 outs. They're going to be hoping that Deere can get out of this. Ball 4. And that will load the bases. Here comes Max Mandler. He's got 3 aboard. Tonight, he's 0 for 2. He is definitely due for a hit as he is challenging Frank Wayman in a duel for the team's best hitter crown. And I will say, the last time we saw a little hitless streak from Mandler back in my previous game, or one of my previous games, he's able to respond in a clutch situation and get on the board. All he needs to do is just get on base, and he'd help his team. They just want to keep the inning alive. This time some heat down the middle for strike one. Southern Tier Custom Fabricators is this inning sponsor for the Pios. 0-1 for Mandler. That one 1-1 as it gets outside. Given stays on top of it, though. Good job for him to not let it bounce away. Mandler fouls that one off. 1-2 count here. Mandler has had 6 at-bats. He hasn't gotten a single hit yet with bases loaded. Can Mandler turn this 0-for-6 stretch around 2? He's got a 1-2 count here against Deer. Swing and a miss, he can't. That's tough for Mandler, but the Pios score 4 and take the lead. As actually, all 9 players for the Pios were able to come up this inning on 1, 2, 3 hits, no errors. 3 were stranded. Pios baseball will be right back after this in the top of the 5th inning.
With nearly 3,000 employees working across various locations in the Southern Tier, Arnett Health was recognized as one of America's best mid-size employers by Forbes for 2022. And we turn to our employees to find out what makes Arnett such a good employer.
Is the level of ownership that everyone has for their work and the amount that they show that they care.
Regardless of role or job title, everyone here supports one another and brings passion to the work they do.
During the COVID pandemic, we had everybody in our system come together and work as a really strong team.
They want to be here, they love being here, they love helping everybody.
Everywhere I go, we have just great staff. And they're my friends, and I see them, how dedicated and hardworking they are.
It's amazing how much perseverance and effort we go through to strive for the best patient outcomes possible.
Here's the current playoff race here in the PGCBL West Division, and we'll quickly also give you an update on how the rest of the division is doing in tonight's games. And that way we'll be able to see just how good the Pios are in this spot. Geneva Red Wings, in the bottom of the 8th, they're losing to the Niagara Power. The Auburn Double Days have lost, or losing currently, to the Utica Blue Sox. Batavia, Jamestown are tied. And of course, the other game in our division is currently ongoing. As Keefe is now just about ready to get started with this new inning, waiting for his main catcher. We'll just double check. Is Batavia, they currently lead by 5.5 games. Over the drop, 3-game lead for Utica, 17-15 record for Geneva, tied with the Double Days at 19-17. The Tarpskunks are 17-17. Pios, actually the Pios were able to improve to 16-17. I'll actually change back to this other screen, which I think I have something slightly more up to date. I actually apologize. I can't seem to find it. Well, anyway, TJ Werner is going to lead off. And I will say the man who is all Pios. The name of Anthony Keith, he's back on the mound. I appreciate the compliment, Scott. And hey, Cam, yeah, I am feeling better. I mean, that's the reason I'm back live. If I wasn't feeling better, I'd still be in bed. I actually just checked Jamestown and Batavia's score. That's going to be an interesting finish as the count goes 3-0 to TJ Werner, who's 0 for 2 today. Plays Brockway Contractor, and this innings sponsor here in the top of the 5th. And DJ Warner will build himself a walk as he does the Brandon Nemo run to first base. I believe it's Brandon Nemo, right? I don't want to get that guy wrong. But tosses the bat and takes the jog. 1 on, 1 away. No one away. That'll bring up Doyle now with 1 man on base. Doyle does represent a potential tying run in this spot. He's hitting .306 this year with a .681 OPS. He's squared up for a bunt. Pulls away for strike 1 as that one's right down the middle. So still a runner on first. Runner goes. Oh, that one slips away, so runner won't get the stolen base. Instead, he's just going to go to second after that one drifts inside and plunks Doyle. What's also disappointing for Doyle, that was a heater, so I think he shrugged it off, but that's the type of one that might leave a little bruise. Hopefully Doyle's A-okay. And you know it's not intentional from Keith. And there have been times in the past where we see some Pios pitchers getting a couple plunks like that. I know our friend Zeev Gar had one instance in a game where he had 3 hit batters in a row. That's simply because in this league, you've got collegiate pitchers looking to improve. Sometimes the command isn't fully there. And these types of accidents happen. Coach Billy Wildman, I think, is out there just telling Keith to just settle down and just get back focused. The offense was able to really start to heat up, and I know they're going to want another solid outing from Keith. But I won't be surprised if Drum gets someone going in the bullpen either. I will say, definitely not a surprise if Keith isn't 100% hot and ready to pitch. At Clark University this season, Keith actually didn't pitch a single inning. He was out playing in the field more. So he's actually got a chance to really work on mound stuff here in Elmira, where he wasn't able to in the spring. So that's another fun little tidbit here as the top of the 5th inning resumes. That one fouled back from Espinal, one of the co-commentators and PA guys over in Newark. Loves to say his name. Good relationships between those guys and the players. And pretty tight working spaces there. So really able to get to know a few more things of each team. As even though both runners went, this one gets fouled away. And the count's now 0-2. In fact, actually, since you mentioned that, Cam, I'll quickly check the weather out in Jamestown and see how it's going. Hopefully it doesn't rain, as that could actually end up putting the game in jeopardy. 0-2 here, 2 aboard. And he's going to step off and throw over to second just to keep Warner true there. Yeah, I was actually looking. Things look actually pretty clean out there in Jamestown tomorrow. Swing and a miss on Espinal, and that's a strikeout. Uh-oh. I just looked back, and there goes... Oh. Well, I'm going to keep trying, but obviously that type of glitching is not very ideal, so I do apologize about it. So anyway, it's 1 away now, 2 aboard. Let me try something really quickly. Strike 1 taken. Yeah, once again, it's just, I think, an overheating issue. And that's unfortunate because these things got hot earlier. And it takes they're not perfect when they are running pretty warm like this. That's grounded to short. They get the 1 out, but they won't be able to get the second. Runners will be at the corners now on the fielder's choice. You know, we got a couple active chatters. Just type in the chat whether you don't mind if it's still a bit choppy like this, or whether I should just switch back to radio only for the broadcast. Because I'm not going to reset the stream and try again. I've already done that way too much. There's already a trillion different replays. As that one's taken high for ball 1. And I do apologize again tonight. Just, I will say, tough heat here in Elmira. That's just caused a couple difficulties when it comes to streaming. Count now 1-1 as this one's fouled away by Duffy. Tying run at first. Lead cutting run on third. It's up to Keefe to keep things quiet. Bullpen is actually empty for the Pios. He's got the trust as he has been able to force 2 quick outs here. Top of the 5th. Seems just every other frame is like 30 or so seconds or so behind. 2-1 here. Runner goes as this one's fouled away. Tracking it is Scheider. Can't get to it though, it's just a little too far foul. Great effort. Count now 2-2. Yeah, and that is what I'll do, Kevin, if things can't get fixed when it comes to the camera. Two here. Runner goes again, and the count will go 3-2. Runner's now on third and second. And yeah, it's, I think, too bad at this point to continue to try that. Full count now for Duffy. He's going to line that one up the middle. That'll be picked up by Odom. It'll likely tie the game, though, as the throw not home in time. Marsh on it. So it will just be a single, but it does tie the game. Inside, ball 1. Swing and a miss there. 1-1. Bike will look to help his chances here by keeping the inning alive. He's already helped himself back up to a no decision. 2-1. Runner goes early, and he'll get there as the count now goes 3-1. That runner gets to second there on the stolen base attempt. Go ahead run now in scoring position for Pike. Five runs and 7 hits for the Pilots. 5 runs and 5 hits for the Pioneers. That's the current line score. Here's the 2-1. And strike 2 taken. Full count now. Here with 2 away. We've got the runner on second. That one sent foul. Fouled away again. And strike three is going to get caught looking this time. He was ready to get on first base with a walk, but instead the payoff pitch goes the way of Keith. 2 runs come home on 1 hit. No errors. 1 left on base. More Pioneer Baseball coming right up after this.
Owned and operated since 1905. At the Hilliard Corporation, we've proven ourselves time and time again as the leading industrial manufacturer in the Elmira and Southern Tier region. We make the products you need with the quality you and your business deserve. Industrial clutches and brakes, drivetrain products, filtration equipment, engine starters, braking systems. We engineer, manufacture, and distribute them. All of the products we manufacture are designed right here, so we truly know the products we provide for you, inside and out. On top of being an industrial manufacturer, at the Hilliard Corporation we also serve as a weld shop and machine shop. We specialize in creating custom parts and pieces to fit particular and uncommon applications. The secondary location is the home of the drivetrain division, where products for Polaris and other vehicle manufacturers are made. This is a high-volume, celled manufacturing plant that produces thousands of parts daily. Over time, Hilliard's product line has diversified, but our company has stayed true to our Elmira roots. Today, Hilliard maintains its original location while continually expanding its motion control and filtration product lines in the Elmira area. Hilliard designs and manufactures for companies around the globe, occupying more than 500,000 square feet and employing about 500 people. Taking pride in serving the Elmira community for over a century, the Hilliard Corporation.
Bottom of the 5th underway, and I'll just quickly check how the camera situation's going. And again, I do apologize, just a lot of issues when it comes to the broadcast quality with overheating. And Joel Osofsky hit by a pitch to start the inning. That's a little surprising. And things actually working, so we're going to test this quickly and see if this will work. Runner on first now with no one away. So that actually goes right for the Pios. Previous inning started off with Osofsky getting on board with a free base. Here's Bobby Marsh. He's 0 for 2 today, but with how he's been doing so far, he's definitely due for a hit in this at-bat. That one, strike 1 inside. So, inside pitches have been definitely going against batters all day. And by batters, I mean Pilots and Pios hitters. That's not a problem just shared by people like Bobby Marsh. It's also been shared by a few of the other Newark players too. Osofsky goes to second as Marsh gets under this. Osofsky will likely have to track back to first. The catch is made in right field, 1 away. Here comes Frank Wayman. He got on base and scored after a walk in the 4th inning. The game tied up again after a strong 5th inning from the Pilots. Pios looking to do the same. I usually am able to give you a better estimate on how far this game has gone. It's about 1 hour 45 minutes or so throughout. Of course, I've had to run different recordings as things have kind of glitched from time to time, but looks like right now is the best shape of the stream. Not going to change the camera too much as I don't want to risk anything. One away, man on. Pios' best hitter has got a chance to try to give the Pios a lead. Strike one taken. Pioneers hitters as a whole do weaker against right-handed pitchers. Throw back to first, Olsovsky safe. And, well, looks like that was another hit by pitch. Wank Wayman's going to get to first now. Again, command issues, but, you know, you also have to do wonder. There's no real bad blood between these teams. So far, it's mainly been the Pioneers dominating the season series. One of their more recent matchups, not including the last night victory by the Pioneers in Newark. The Pioneers ultimately had won 13-0 in a mercy rule, well, run-ahead rule after 5 innings. This one fouled away for strike one. And I will say, it was a lot slower. This game is a lot slower than that one. Even though there was more runs being scored, the Pioneers had quicker innings, and Champa, who was on the mound then, was lights out, only surrendering 2 hits in the 5th inning, nearly having a no-hitter. 0-2 now as that one lands in the zone. It's Cooper Smith who has an RBI and a 1-for-2 day at the plate. That one low, ball 1. But again, thank you everyone for tuning in. I'm very happy to be back here in the broadcast booth doing what I do best. And the good news is that my battle with COVID wasn't too terrible. Symptoms weren't too bad. Mainly just was resting up. And also, you know, burnout is a real thing, especially through the big stretch right here. A lot of games in a row. Actually kind of gives me some time to reflect and get rested up and get ready and motivated for this playoff push. 2-2 now to Cooper Smith. 3-2. His motto. And he can use from his favorite movie, Talladega Nights. If you ain't first, you're last. And he wants to be first in this at-bat. And he'll ultimately get on base. So he does take the win that time. Bases are now loaded for Gil Murad. Activity over in the Newark bullpen. And you do wonder whether there will be a little pitching conference or not. But the bench remains quiet. So they're going to keep it going now with one away. Murad, 2 flyouts. Normally, a flyout, not best thing in this situation. But a sac fly would be very appealing for Drum's team, as it would give them a lead. And we know Gil Murad has got a little barrel behind it. Ooh, that one lands in the zone. And I will say, it's not just lefty hitters that have to deal with a few of those tough inside pitches. Righty hitters for both teams have had issues as well. But this time, that one is ball 1. Thanks for the update, Cam, as it's still tied over in Jamestown, too. That one's low, 2-1. Now, obviously, the worst-case scenario for Newark would be walking Murad and bringing in a run, especially since him and the very hot bat of Aiden Blake is behind. Outside, 3-1. And it's not a tying run, it's not a lead-cutting run, it's a go-ahead run that's currently at third. and one that doesn't have a free base to stay at. Ron's going to line that, and the Pios take a lead. 1 run scores. The other run is going to be waved home. The throw is not in time. Gilmarad, a 2 RBI single, and the Pios are back in control. This time, he hits a clean line drive that gets over the infield and in front of the outfield, and it sends 2 runners home to put the Pios up 7-5. And there are now runners on first and second for Aiden Blake. Still no conference between Deere and the coach. He's giving him a green light to keep going. Here's Aiden Blake. That one's outside, ball 1. Aiden Blake's stats in July. He's hitting .276, which is a bit better than his current average. So he's had a very strong start to this month. Blake is going to line it, and it stays fair. 1 run will score, and that potentially could send Gil home too. He's just going to be held up, but it's an RBI double for Aiden Blake, and he has had his 3rd double of the night and 3rd RBI. What a day for the man who Joe Muzio feels should start every game. I think Blake is making good on that compliment from his teammate. What a performance he has had. Pios lead by 3, and now there's a meeting on the mound, and that actually will be the day done for Deere. We'll give you an update quickly on who's coming onto the mound. Looks like number 22. We'll get you fully updated that soon. But the Pios, you know, they're currently 2 games off of the 4th placed team. A win here against Newark isn't something that would totally help them on its own. It's more something that's a necessity if they realistically want to be in the playoffs. And I've seen the number more. It's actually coming in now from the bullpen. Going to be number 27. Justin Santos. Justin Santos is a .466 ERA. He's started 4 games, and he's got a 1-for-4 record this season. 16 strikeouts, 20 walks. I think he suffers a similar situation that Hunter Kendall does, where they're usually good at limiting base hits, but sometimes free bases can get in the way of good performances. As he warms up, that's going to bring up Zach Odom, followed by Logan Scheider and Lucas Barabee. The last 2 innings, the Pios have scored 7 runs, and they still got 2 outs to play with here, as there's 1 away and 2 aboard. Tonight, Odom's been a little quieter, on a base with a walk, and also grounded out. He's 0 for 1. Welcome back, Kyle. And glad to see you enjoying the stream. Hope you're having a good time at the Poconos as well. Yep, Pioneer streams are back. And the Pios offense has come back here in the 4th and 5th innings. 1 away here for Odom. That one goes very far away, and it is now a 9-5 lead for the Pios. Just a failure to locate that one. The wild pitch gets Gilmorad home and lets Aiden Blake get to third. That'll excite the Pios dugout and the fans here at Dunn Field. The count now 1-0 here to Odom. Swing and a miss, 1-1 now, count to Odom. Swing and a miss, 1-2. I think the first pitch there from Santos was the unfortunate case of, I think it needed one more pitch to warm up. After that wild pitch, he's been doing some good pitches there with some good heat. This time it's just taken just outside. The lights are out. The sun has gone down here in Dunfield. A couple clouds overhead, but still a beautiful warm day. It's finally gotten warm as it had been really hot earlier. Hence one of the reasons we've had some technical difficulties too. Currently 84 degrees. That number should keep dropping as the night begins to fall over here. And Elmira swing and a miss for Odom, and he's going to go down. Scheider now, 2 away and a runner on third. Scheider, he's also 2 for 2 today. He's just a home run and triple away from the cycle, as that one also goes wild. But yeah, I mean, never say never. Scheider could get a cycle, and as far as I'm concerned, there hasn't been as far as I've seen, no cycle for the Pios yet this season. It's still technically possible. Obviously, a home run's harder to hit here in Dunn Field, but the Pios have done it twice. This one's going to be sent deep right field, but it's not going to go far enough. That'll end the inning. Pioneers are able to score 4 runs on 2 hits. There was no errors. 1 runner was left aboard. Pios baseball is going to be back after the break. Your Pioneers lead 9-5.
Hi, I'm Bill Mullaney, president of SUNY Corning Community College. I'm here today to let you know the classes and the quality of education that you've expected of us are ready to be delivered. Whether you're interested in transferring to a 4-year university or joining the workforce directly, Corning Community College has the program for you. We're here to provide the best possible education that we can, no matter what your aspirations. We hope that as you begin to weigh your options for the fall semester, you'll think first of Corning Community College. We're here for you, closer to home.
Top of the 6th now for the Pios. Keith returns to the mound. I think Drum wants one more good inning out of him before potentially looking at someone else like Kevin Serrano. But Keith has done his job in helping out the Pios. A little shaky inning of 2 runs coming home. But Pios are able to respond with 4 runs as that first pitch is taken for strike 1. Leading off now for the Newark Pilots is Wood. That one goes outside, 1-1. Wood drew a walk in the 4th inning in his previous at bat. Hitting .267 this year with a .656 on base and slugging. Oof. That one slips inside. And there's been quite a few of those hit by pitches all day. That one, I think, getting awfully close to the helmet of Wood there. Wood looks okay, though. It also was a breaking ball, which helps, but another little shaky start here. Do have activity over in the bullpen. Potentially could be Kevin Serrano. Runner on first with no one away. Here's the designated hitter, Boatman. He's 1 for 2 today. Taken low, ball 1. Barabay on it. Runner goes. He's just going to hold it. His count now is 1-1. Entering this game, 55 stolen bases and 15 caught attempts for Newark. Swing and a miss, 1-2 count here. I know one thing for certain, and it's going to be that Newark just wants to try to get this deficit down a little bit. That one's a bit high. 2-2. Three and 2 now. That one's going to be grounded hard. It gets by Scheider. Picked up by Bobby Marsh. Runners will be at the corners with no one out. Sorry, Max Mandler's out in left. Marsh is at first. The hop of the single forced Wood back to second and ultimately kept him from getting home. Here comes Drum, and that will be Keith Stay done. The difference is you see Drum go to the mound, you know the change is happening. See Wildman going out to the mound, it's not fully set in stone. Keith was able to get through 2 innings, but that'll be it. We'll have to see who comes in. It might be Kevin Serrano. It is a righty. Whoever it is will be tasked with just keeping this lead in check. And indeed, it is Kevin Serrano. He's been a trusted reliever for the Pios all season. 12 innings pitched, 13 strikeouts to 14 walks. A little more unlucky when it comes to allowing a few hits when it comes to his batting average against. The warm-up for Serrano is finished. We're ready to resume play now. Jake Givens up here with 2 aboard. Pios lead by 4 still. No outs here. Ball 1 just outside. Runner goes. Berube hangs on to it. 2-0. Three and 0 here. That one's taken for strike 1. It was the obvious take and does land in the zone. And ball 4, just a little bit high. That will load the bases now with no one out. First 2 runners are Keith's runners. First pitch, they actually try a pickoff, but he's back safe. It's 1-0. Good reaction there from Berube. Menser up again. Two and 0 now. It's actually the first pitch was, I think, counted as strike 1. That one's going to be sent high. Not deep enough for Cooper Smith to not be able to get it. The throw-in will just keep the other 2 runners at bay. It's a sacrifice fly for Menser. 1 away. A 9-6 lead for the Pios as Newark will get a little closer with that one. Strike 1 taken. There's Serrano, I think, finding the zone a little bit more this time, which is good. He's going to pop this one backward to count now 0-2. Oh-2 from Serrano. Grounded to third. In fact, Scheider picks it up and decides just to get the force out on the base path. 2 away. Now, we'll say that actually is a relatively smart play. It's a little too hard to go and get a force out to run over there to third, to try to keep a double play alive. Instead, the man in the base path is just in front of him. He decides to tag him. That's going to bring up Doyle now with 2 aboard. The previous hitter was TJ Warner, and we know he's very electric on the base paths tonight. He's been pretty active in stealing bases. That'll be something Kevin Serrano will need to watch out for with 2 away. High, ball 2. Three and 1. Doyle with runners in scoring position. He's hitting a .500 in that spot. He's 1 for 2 tonight with a hit by pitch. Can't go 2 for 3, even though that one had a lot of velo behind it. It's fouled away as the count will go full with 2 away. One of the highest, I think, stress pitches of the game for the Pios. 2-1, 2 outs, and a 3-2 count. Swing and a miss, and Serrano with a huge strikeout there gets out of the jam. One run comes home on 1 hit. There was no errors, bases. 2 runners were stranded. Pioneer Baseball back after this. Pios lead 6-9, entering the bottom of the 6th inning.
With nearly 3,000 employees working across various locations in the Southern Tier, Arnett Health was recognized as one of America's best mid-size employers by Forbes for 2022. And we turn to our employees to find out what makes Arnett such a good employer.
Is the level of ownership that everyone has for their work and the amount that they show that they care.
Regardless of role or job title, everyone here supports one another and brings passion to the work they do.
During the COVID pandemic, we had everybody in our system come together and work as a really strong team.
They want to be here, they love being here, they love helping everybody.
Everywhere I go, we have just great staff. And they're my friends, and I see them, how dedicated and hardworking they are.
It's amazing how much perseverance and effort we go through to strive for the best patient outcomes possible.
Barabee leads off for the Pios. He's going to take ball 1 a bit low. Bottom of the 6th now underway. Pios surrendered 1 run on 1 hit the previous inning. Now Barabee, Mandler, and Olsovsky do up that one. A bit of heat inside, 2-0. 3-0 here. And ball 4. Barabee gets aboard for the second time with a walk. That'll bring up Max Mandler. Mandler hitting .306 in July, entering today, which actually is a little bit better than his average all year. Not a huge surprise. This is the start of the year. Mandler mainly just been getting on base and doing less hitting. Now he is finding quite a few more hits in the hit column. So it was a long sort of conference there, but now Mandler ready to go. He fouls that one off, 0-1. That's the type of foul ball that gets you worried about your car because parking is over to the right side of the field. That one's going to be grounded over to third. They can't get the lead runner. They'll settle with Mandler. So Mandler advances Barabee. That brings up Olszewski. Here's Olszewski now. He's now going to line that one, and it is caught. That will end the inning. A great grab from Werner allows the Pilots to double up on the play. Wow. That was a line shot and a great snap from Werner. It looked like it was going to drop for a single and likely get runners in the corners, but instead it's caught, and from there, there's nothing Barabee can do. That'll end the inning. Pioneers baseball will be back in the top of the 7th right after this.
Hi, I'm Bill Mullaney, president of SUNY Corning Community College. I'm here today to let you know the classes and the quality of education that you've expected of us are ready to be delivered. Whether you're interested in transferring to a four-year university or joining the workforce directly, Corning Community College has the program for you. We're here to provide the best possible education that we can, no matter what your aspirations. We hope that as you begin to weigh your options for the fall semester, you'll think first of Corning Community College. We're here for you, closer to home.
Top of the 7th underway. Kevin Serrano looking to keep Espinal, Morgan, and Duffy at bay. This one's going to be sent to left. Mandler under it. One away. So it's a good catch out there by Max Mandler. Tracked it down and did have to get a little airborne, but comes up with it. And I'll say about Max Mandler, he's very much a defensive weapon for the Pios wherever he plays. We've seen him out there in the outfield. I'm pretty sure he's been out right and center once or twice. But we've seen him at second, seen him at short, seen him at third. We've even seen him come onto the mound once during a pretty big Pios loss. And he actually didn't do too bad there. Quartered a strikeout or two. So he really can play anywhere, except for catcher. He hasn't really done that yet. The throw a little wild from Scheider, and that is going to be an error on him. 1 on, 1 away. First error of the game for either team. Good attempt by Marsh to try to save the ball, and he actually did catch it to prevent it from going over to the dugout and giving an extra base, but had to go off the back to do so. That'll bring up Duffy. 2 for 3 today. Strikeout and 2 singles. Outside. Ball 1. That's you want corn. This hitting spots are. Two and 0. 2 and 1. Three and 1 now. One away, 3-run buffer. The Pios would like to try to turn a double play here. That one's going to be sent to center. Odom tracking it. And he's going to make a sliding grab. 2 away. That gets some applause here at Dunn Field. And one more round, the Pios will be 6 outs to a potential victory, as that's going to bring up Sebastian Pike. Pike started the game out, and he's only at worst going to get a no decision. Or actually, he is going to get a no decision, as if the Pilots come back, he wouldn't be credited with a win. 2 away here. Takes that first pitch. Looked like he wanted to go around, but was already thinking beforehand to take. Pike hitting .320 this season entering today's game. Also an .873 OPS. Runner goes. Throw from Berube. Not in time. Aiden Blake felt that he did. I think it was very close. They ultimately do give the tie to the runner there. It's a good pop from Berube. At the very least, the account now goes to 0-2. So that does help the Pios and Serrano. They would have liked to end the inning on that throw, though. Serrano tries to get him with that, looks like sort of a cutter. Oh, and actually it's an errant throw back to the mound by Berube. And that's going to let Morgan get to third. Morgan had gone on with that error earlier. 1-2. I'll say that's why focus is so important. That time called for ball 2. That's a call that was pretty much going strike over 60% of the time so far. Seen that for Pios hitters, and we've actually seen it as well for Newark hitters. But this time it's going to be taken as a ball, 2-2. And 3-2. He tried to go early a little cheekily. The count is now full for Pike. And Pike says quick, hey, my bad. Especially here at Dunfield, you're not going to be able to sneak a walk like that away. There's a fun John Boyce video about that subject of batters getting on 3 pitches or more. Shenanigans with the count. That time grounded over, and it goes foul. A good throw from Scheider would have ended the inning. But yeah, over SB Nation on YouTube, they did a video talking about times in the MLB where this does happen. Where there's a ball 3 and someone goes to first and doesn't get contested. That time, of course, it did. This time, it's actually ball 4. That is going to bring up Wood with 2 aboard and 2 away. I definitely expect Pike to get running to second. Question is, what'll happen there? Tying run is now technically at the plate. Now there's Wood with 2 away. That one's going to be grounded to Scheider. This time to throw to first is dropped. It's again off target. It's a second error. That's not going to be an earned run for Serrano, as the runner who scores from third got on with an error, but that's very disappointing. The inning stays alive. That deficit is now only 2 runs. Won't be an RBI because it was an error. Boatman up, 2 for 3 today. One and 0. Barabee just holds it as the count now goes 1-1. I think he was hoping to try to get the runner on third to go running early where he could pick him off. But instead, he holds still and the runner gets to second on a stolen base. Tying run now in scoring position. Count now 1-2 after that one is taken in the zone. That one's going to be sent to right field, and this will be a tie ball game. A 2 RBI double for Boatman. And to think any of the errors is turned into an out, it'd still be a potentially 6-9 or 9-6 Pios lead. Instead, a go-ahead run's now on second. 2 away here in the top of the 7th. I imagine someone will probably get active in the bullpen soon. The offense is going to need to get some more work done. That's going to now bring up Given. Low, ball 1. Now, 3 runs have come home this inning. Only 1 of them has been earned, and actually, arguably, while grading stats, you could say none of them were earned, as the other runner would have been out to end the inning. So you have to say, you got to feel really bad for Serrano. He played a few fieldable balls there. And that's all I also just say tough for Scheider. Close throws, tough for Marsh, who did a good job to keep in front of them. Count now 1-2. Serrano 1 strike away from keeping this game level. So far, Given he's 0 for 1 with 2 walks. That one fouled back. Still 1-2. Strike three's gone down looking to end the inning. It's now a tied game after 2 runs come home. Sorry, 3 runs come home on 1 hit and 2 errors. 1 runner left the board. More Pios baseball coming up after this. 7th inning stretch underway here at Dunn Field.
What if white wine was not made for poultry, but for friendship? What if red wine set aside the steak and made room for love? What if we've been drinking wine wrong?
Owned and operated since 1905. At the Hilliard Corporation, we've proven ourselves time and time again as the leading industrial manufacturer in the Elmira and Southern Tier region. We make the products you need with the quality you and your business deserve. Industrial clutches and brakes, drivetrain products, filtration equipment, engine starters, braking systems. We engineer, manufacture, and distribute them. All of the products we manufacture are designed right here, so we truly know the products we provide for you, inside and out. On top of being an industrial manufacturer, at the Hilliard Corporation we also serve as a weld shop and machine shop. We specialize in creating custom parts and pieces to fit particular and uncommon applications. The secondary location is the home of the drivetrain division, where products for Polaris and other vehicle manufacturers are made. This is a high-volume, celled manufacturing plant that produces thousands of parts daily. Over time, Hilliard's product line has diversified, but our company has stayed true to our Elmira roots. Today, Hilliard maintains its original location while continually expanding its motion control and filtration product lines in the Elmira area. Hilliard designs and manufactures for companies around the globe, occupying more than 500,000 square feet and employing about 500 people. Taking pride in serving the Elmira community for over a century, the Hilliard Corporation.
Bottom of the 7th, back at Dunn Field. Pios lost their lead off a solid inning from the Pilots. This really has just been a back and forth game. Bobby Marsh, Frank Wayman, and Cooper Smith, the 3-2 up this time. Fouled away by Marsh. Marsh has gone unlucky so far, 3 outs and 3 tries. He's put them in play, it's just not well enough. In fact, his worst one came in the first inning when he lined out to Pike, who was still on the mound then. Swing and a miss, this time fooled with that breaking ball. 0-2. I think the big thing is the Pios need to just stop being too aggressive here. Need to focus and chain some offense together. 0-2 here. Outside, 1-2. Two and two. And strike 3. Marsh is going to go down looking. And I'll say those calls have been going bad for hitters from time to time. It's been very inconsistent, I'll say. Just a lot of these calls going back and forth. It's hurt the Pirates, it's hit the Pios, and this time it hurts Bobby Marsh. 1 away here. And that's going to bring up Frank Wayman. 0 for 1 with 2 free bases. A walk and hit by pitch. outside, ball 1. Strike 1 on that outside corner. Two and 1. Two and 2. So once again, call it a little bit of a pitcher's strike zone here tonight. 2-2. That one inside, ball 3. Wayman's going to ground that over to second. Picks it up and makes the play. 2 away here for Cooper Smith. Two away here for Cooper Smith. 1-0. One and 1. Two and 1 now. And Cooper Smith is able to get aboard as that one drifts inside. Gil Murad now up. Potential go-ahead run here on first with 2 away. Strike 1 on the outside corner. Gil Murad today has been on fire. 2 RBIs in his last at-bat. And the pickoff attempt works. That'll end the inning. So Cooper Smith caught stealing there to end the inning. Pios baseball will be back right after this. Top of the 8th coming up. Tie ball game.
With Chemung Canal's mobile banking services, you can get back to doing what you love most faster. At Chemung Canal, you chart your course and we'll help you get there. Chemung Canal Trust Company, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
For more than a century, you've counted on Arnett Health. Counted on us to heal you, support you, encourage you, get you back on your feet. And for more than a century, Arnett has counted on you too. You're our community, our purpose, our passion. You're the reason we do what we do. Because giving our patients the best of ourselves is just who we are. Looking forward while embracing our legacy. Staying on the cutting edge while staying connected to our patients. Focusing on state-of-the-art procedures and the most effective care. At Arnett, we're nurses, doctors, and teams of other caregivers inspired by healing. We know your physical, emotional, and spiritual health are each part of the whole of you. To continue a tradition of medicine driven by compassion, teaching, and healing. That's why we're here. It's who we are. It's what we do.
Joe Olsovsky is going to come into the game here at the top of the 8th. They need someone who can get quick outs and get that offense back motivated. And Olsovsky, they feel, is the man to do it. Kyle Shimoleski is going to now substitute in at shortstop. We'll have to see what they do when it comes to attacking at the plate afterwards. Spencer back up. Takes strike one of the outside corner. Looked close to the line, but those pitches have been going to pitchers quite often today. It's not a surprise to see it called that way. 0-1. 1-1 here. Arnett Health, this inning's sponsor. But Olsovsky could definitely be called a doctor for the Pioneers in situations like this. He enters the game with a 2.40 ERA in 15 innings with 16 strikeouts to just 2 walks. One of his more recent outings came as a big start against Watertown. He went the complete game distance, but a couple runs conceded in a second inning separated himself from a win and got himself his first defeat of the season. Otherwise, he's had 1 win and 3 saves in his other 4 appearances. And he's going to be tasked with getting the Pios back into it. And for Olsovsky in the mound, he just finds the strike zone, which is one of his best qualities. I just mentioned he has an 8-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. In fact, that's actually the first walk he's conceded all season that wasn't during a start. We're on, no one out. You could argue that against the Newark Pilots, you don't want to have to use someone like Olsovsky, and I agree. Olsovsky is the team's best reliever. You only want to save him to games you really need him. But this is a must-win game for the Pios if they realistically want a playoff opportunity. They need to keep close in that fight. They can't slip up against a team that's lower in the table. I'm not saying Newark is bad or anything, but there's definitely a difference in these two teams, more so than the Pios challenging for 5th or 4th. A loss against Newark would allow those teams to get ahead. That one gets away 1-0 as the runner now gets to second. Going to step off quickly and rethink. Werner has gone on base 2 times, once off fielder's choice and once on a walk. This one popped up and fouled. Count now 1-1. Two and 1 here. This one popped up. Scheider chasing it. And he'll pick it up for the first out of the inning. One away here in the top of the 8th now. And that'll certainly help Olsavsky as he's got that go-ahead run on second. That one's going to be grounded hard. It gets by Scheider. Picked up by Mailer. Runner's going to be sent home. Mailer can't field it cleanly enough. And the Pilots take a 1-run lead. And I can't tell whether that was graded as an error or not. No, it wasn't. It was graded as a hit. Just missing another error, though, for the Pios based off the score sheet. But an RBI single for Doyle. And just an unlucky hard hit ball there. Strike one in the outside corner. That one fouled away. The count now 0-2. That one popped up. Blake catches it 2 away. And strike one. Runner goes. Throw from Barabee, not in time. Chmielewski recovers it behind. 0-2 now. One and two here as that one's taken just high. Olsavsky looking to just get out of the inning. It's 2-2 now. Three and two here. That one's going to be hit hard and picked up by Chmielewski. Throw to first in target. So in the end, the Pios do trail by one. A relatively quick inning from Olsavsky. Just one hit brings home the 1 run. Bottom of the 8th for the Pios coming up right after this.
Nearly 3,000 employees working across various locations in the Southern Tier, Arnett Health was recognized as one of America's best mid-size employers by Forbes for 2022. And we turn to our employees to find out what makes Arnett such a good employer.
Is the level of ownership that everyone has for their work and the amount that they show that they care,
Regardless of role or job title, everyone here supports one another and brings passion to the work they do.
During the COVID pandemic, we had everybody in our system come together and work as a really strong team.
They want to be here, they love being here, they love helping everybody.
Everywhere I go, we have just great staff. And they're my friends, and I see them, how dedicated and hardworking they are.
It's amazing how much perseverance and effort we go through to strive for the best patient outcomes possible.
Aiden McGee enters the game. He's the best reliever for the Newark Pilots, and he's got himself a one-run cushion. A 1.84 ERA through 14 innings. He's allowed 3 earned and 7 total. 18 strikeouts to 6 walks. His first opponent from the Pioneers is going to be Gil Murad as the bottom of the 8th gets underway. So they actually are going to move Shimoleski, Shimoleski is going to replace Murad. He's now ahead 2-0. So Murad would be ultimately the one substituted. For here. Takes strike 1 there on the obvious take of the 3-0 pitch. Shmielecki, total of 10 strikeouts to 10 free pitches or free bases. Now we've got a full count here for the substitute at short. What can he do here? That one's going to be lined and caught at second, 1 away. That'll bring up Aiden Blake. 3 doubles, 3 RBIs. Huge night for Blake tonight. We won't have a runner on base to work with, but a chance to try to get this offense going. Now, actually, the Pios, I actually don't know what they did. They might have moved Gil Murad over to a catcher as well. But, again, they did have him replaced with Shimoleski, so they likely just have Baruch Barabe there. 0-1. Fouled away. It's 0-2 now to Aiden Blake. Strike 3 on the outside corner. And again, it's been a pitcher's zone all night, except for Kevin Serrano. 2 away here in the bottom of the 8th. Here's Zach Odom now. 0-2 with a walk today. Outside, 1-0. Two and 0. Fouled away, 2-1. Two and two now. We were 2 away for Zach Odom. Pios only 4 outs left to try to get 1 run. Still fighting hard. Three and two. This one sent foul. Good effort by Doyle to try to chase it down, but it can't get to it. Still a full count. And ball 4. Scheider with 2 away. He hasn't had the perfect game at third base so far. But at the plate, he has gone 2 for 3 with a couple RBIs. And you know the Pios would love one more from him right here. Outside 1-1. One and two. Swing and a miss, and that'll end the inning. Pios down to their final 3 outs. But before that, we've got the top of the 9th. More Pios baseball coming up after this.
With nearly 3,000 employees working across various...
What if white wine was not made for poultry, but for friendship? What if red wine set aside the steak and made room for love? What if we've been drinking wine wrong all along, and instead wine was to be shared as a human experience with love, integrity, and hope? Hi, my name is Greg Taylor. I'm the vineyard manager and property manager of Bully Hill Vineyards, and I'm a 4th generation winemaker and 5th generation grape grower of my family. So it all started with my great-great-grandfather George and his son Walter Taylor Sr. They came up to this region for the promise of a better life due to the rising wine industry on Keuka Lake. Walter Taylor was the one who first started the Taylor Wine Company. The Taylor Wine Company was one of the largest wineries in the United States. My great-grandfather had passed away, and my grandfather Grayton and his 2 brothers Fred and Clarence took over the company at its peak, producing around 40 million gallons of wine a year. Grayton had a son, Walter, who was my father, and he started Bully Hill Vineyards in 1967. My father had a vision for the Finger Lakes wine industry. When Bully Hill was started, only 5 producers existed, and now there's over 300. And he firmly believed that you have to have a certain level of integrity and honesty with the people around you and yourself. And these are kind of the staples of what our business is. Bully Hill was built on the back of French-American hybrid vines. These varietals were developed in France in the 19th century, and they were brought over by my grandfather.
Top of the 9th here in Dunfield. Tomorrow night, Pioneers face off against the Jamestown Tarpskunks. I'm going to be questionable for that game as I'm still getting over COVID. So obviously there will be an answer on whether that game will be streamed later tomorrow. But for now, he's still got a little bit more to go tonight as the Pilots do currently lead 10-9 against the Pios. 2-0 here. Slipping just inside here against Duffy. Duffy today 2 for 2 with an RBI. 2 RBIs. So 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Two and one now. That one just a bit inside, but again, that call will go the Pios' way. That one's going to be sent high. Playable, though, for Odom. One away as he makes the catch. Pike returns back up with one away. Sebastian Pike had a solid start. Got a little choppy later on. Pilots have fought right back, though, and currently hold the advantage. One and two. Just outside, 2 and 2. I think that was a two-seamer or cutter potentially that time. So it just broke a little outside, but sort of back inside. Three and two here. Swing and a miss, and Olsovsky rings up a strikeout here, his first of the night. 2 away. Want to know? That one sent back. It's going to be a 1-1 count. Two and one. That one just up high. Swing and a miss. The count now 2 and 2. The overwhelming stuff, I think, from Olsovsky. Incredibly motivated to just keep this game as it is. Looking to get Wood out. Send it to the bottom. He will on that swing and miss. 2 strikeouts from Olsovsky. He retires the Pilots in order. More Pioneer baseball as we enter Last Chance Saloon after this. Barabee, Mandler, and Olsovsky. They're the three due up for the Pios here at Last Chance Saloon. They've had a long night. It's been a duel here at Dunfield. Over 3 hours through the game. And they're looking to come out on top to help their playoff hopes. A loss here would be brutal, as they're currently 2 games back, and Newark currently below the Pios in the table. Pios would not want to fall to 16-19 here. Can also update you very quickly across the PGCBL. Niagara defeated Geneva. Utica defeated Auburn. Tarp Skunks and Batavia still tied. So either way, if the Tarp Skunks tied, they lose, then all 3 teams that are directly ahead of the Pios would give the Pios a chance to try to get closer. And that's what they need to do. A loss here would keep them at level pace, especially with the tough end-of-season schedule for the Pios, is not what they want. Swing and a miss, it's an 0-2 count in there for Barabee. And more, I'd say, a depressing statistic for Pios fans. They've never won a game when they entered the bottom of the 9th trailing. They haven't had a walk-off win all season, nor have they gone to extras. That time, ball 1, and I will say, that time, that was a strike. But the first time, the Pios, I think, will get a lucky call like that. 1-2. And outside, 2-2. These calls be going back and forth all night. And I think Given even checked around quickly with the umpire to ask about that. I'll say that one was a ball, but the previous one I think could have been strike 3. And up high, 3-2. The Pios dugout excited about it. You do see a little stretching over in the Pios bullpen, but highly doubt they'd pull Osofsky if it goes extras. Swing and a miss. Barabee goes down swinging. The Pios hitless since the 5th inning. And now they've got 2 outs to go in this game. Otherwise, they'll be seeing a 10-9 loss. And their first loss all season to Newark. They won last night on the road. Or 2 nights ago on the road, I apologize. It was Sunday, they didn't have a game last night. And now it's time for Max Mandler to have a chance. Takes that one outside, ball 1. Mandler's going to send that one to the gap. Will it get down? Yes, it will. The right fielder couldn't make a play. Duffy laid out for it. Mandler with a triple. He actually loses his helmet. Huge play with 1 out. And that's going to bring up Olsovsky, looking to help himself avoid a potential loss here. One of the biggest plays of the night as Mandler converts on a absolutely massive triple. And Olsovsky now, he's got a tying run 90 feet from home. The Pios have had tying runs close to home before, but you certainly like the fact that Olsovsky, Marsh, and Wayman are your 3 due up, even with 1 away. Infield playing in. If they see a shallow grounder, they're not going to want that tying run coming home. Olsovsky up with 1 away. Olsovsky likes that one, but it's foul over to the bullpen. 0-1. And I'll say it's his most stressful inning, the bottom of the 9th. An update as well from Cam in the chat. Jamestown lost in a tough one. Means the Pios wouldn't lose distance if they lose, but they'd like to gain distance with a win. 1-1 here. Or wouldn't lose any games back with a loss here, but they would like to gain a game here with a win. 1-1. Olsovsky again sends that foul to the right. This is now a 1-2 count. On deck is Bobby Marsh, who's 0 for 4 and also very much due for a hit. Olsovsky's 0 for 2, but he's gotten on base and scored twice. Olsovsky's going to send that one to center field. That's likely enough to bring Mandler home. It's caught And this game is tied. Olsovsky avoids giving himself a loss and brings Mandler home. It's the first time we've had a tied game in the bottom of the ninth all season. Mandler, a massive triple. 2 away now. And arguably the 2 best Pios hitters now at the plate. We could very well have extra innings, but these next batters could have something to say about it. We've seen Bobby Marsh hit something deep before. We know that he's got the power to do so. He just hasn't yet throughout over 1.5 seasons as a Pioneer. And he's facing a lefty and takes that one for strike 1, a little outside and on the corner. Marsh likes the 0-1. He's going to send that to left. It'll get down and not fielded clean enough. Marsh is going to stay at first. The potential winning run is now on first base for Frank Wayman. Huge, huge inning for the Pios so far to get this game tied. I do have to edit the Pios scoreboard quickly. They've got a runner that could potentially win the game for the Pios. On first, they just need Wayman to convert here. Wayman also hitless, but he does have also 2 free bases. Outside, ball 1. So Wayman's OBP will certainly rise. His average, not yet. Wayman lines that foul. If that's fair, Marsh definitely gets to third, 1-1. It's been a long game, but you know the Pios, you know the Pilots, and you know Dunfield will have the energy to keep going if this does go to one more inning. But the Pios would like to end it now. 1-1 now to Frank Wayman. Wayman's going to send that one to the gap. And it's going to get down. It's picked up. I think they're going to send Marsh home. No, they're holding him up at third. That throw would have definitely gotten him out. It's a double for Wayman to bring up Cooper Smith. Winning run in scoring position. Here comes, I think it might be the manager. He's coming out there just to talk with McGee. With 2 outs and 2 aboard. There's no one warming up. They're not replacing him. I think this is just a settle down type of thing. I know Scott Smith is here earlier in the chat. I'm sure that his eyes are glued as it's going to be Cooper at the plate. 10 runs on 10 hits. Both teams have that on their scoreline. 3 errors is the difference, as that's what the Pios have. There are no errors for the Newark Pilots. All Cooper Smith needs is to get a ball that's a base hit, and the Pios will win here at Dunfield and propel themselves one game closer to a playoff berth. Smith takes that one outside, ball 1. And on deck is Kyle Shimoleski. He came on as a pinch hitter and pinch fielder when Olsovsky was promoted to the mound. 2-0 high now. And I don't think there is a single person at Dunfield that is not on the edge of their seat. 2-1 as that one's a little low, but called a strike. Cooper Smith still in control here. And the count very much even. 2 more balls, 2 more strikes would lead to a walk or strikeout. Smith takes that one outside. It's a 3-1 count. And all Cooper Smith needs to do is keep that inning alive. And there is, I think, a potential change here. No, it's just Mandler going over to wish Shimoleski luck. 3-1. Fouled away, 3-2. I will say, regardless of what happens at this at-bat for Cooper Smith, Shimoleski, unless the game ends here, would get a shot, whether it be here or in extras. And Scooper Smith save Kyle the trouble. Swing and a miss. He cannot. McGee escapes a tough jam. The Pios get a winning run 90 feet from home, but can't bring him home. However, for the first time this season, we're headed to extra innings. More Pios baseball will be back after this. I'm Taylor Storthy, and here comes inning number 10. Let's give that a try. This has been an exciting game, Pios fans. We'd love to have you at Dunn Field. Make sure tomorrow or any other day, have that number down and get yourself some tickets if you're interested in going to any game in the Elmira era. And remember, Pios tickets can be a great group outing as well, whether it's a birthday or picnic or anything else. Get yourself some tickets as soon as you can. Boatman leads off as he's going to send that one deep left field, but foul. 0-1 count now. So, the 3-2 up is Boltman, Given, and Menser. For the Pilots, for the Pios, it will be Shimoleski, Blake, and Odom. Olsovsky returns to the mound for a third inning of work. And yeah, this is the first time we've seen extra innings here for the Elmira Pioneers this season. That one's going to be grounded over to Aiden Blake. One away. Given today, he's 0 for 2 with 2 walks. He's coming up here. Tomorrow night, the Pioneers are in Jamestown. If I'm not going to be able to make it, there are still other ways that you can see Tarp Skunk Baseball, and you can stay tuned. I will be ready for the Batavia game, however, on Thursday. So, if I'm not there tomorrow, you'll see me on Thursday when the Pioneers, once again, face their sister team. This one sent deep left field, but Mandler tracks back and makes the catch. And for the first time ever, I might need to bring out a second piece of paper for keeping the score, because we are in extra innings. The inning count on this piece of paper only goes up to 10. 2 away here, by the way, in the top of the 10th. Henser up here, 2 away. It's top of the order again for the Pilots. He's going to take ball 1. Henser today, 2 free bases and a sac fly. 0 for 2. Strike one taken on that outside corner. Fouled away 1-2. The 1-2 swung on and missed, and it's another 1-2-3 inning for the always lethal Joe Olsofsky. That's the top of the 10 done. Bottom of the 10th coming up for the Pios. It's not a last chance saloon because the Pios don't need to score. They just really, really want to. More Pios baseball right after this.
Owned and operated since 1905. At the Hilliard Corporation, we've proven ourselves time and time again as the leading industrial manufacturer in the Elmira and Southern Tier region. We make the products you need with the quality you and your business deserve. Industrial clutches and brakes, drivetrain products, filtration equipment, engine starters, braking systems. We engineer, manufacture, and distribute them. All of the products we manufacture are designed right here, so we truly know the products we provide for you, inside and out. On top of being an industrial manufacturer, at the Hilliard Corporation we also serve as a weld shop and machine shop. We specialize in creating custom parts and pieces to fit particular and uncommon applications. The secondary location is the home of the drivetrain division, where products for Polaris and other vehicle manufacturers are made. This is a high-volume, celled manufacturing plant that produces thousands of parts daily. Over time, Hilliard's product line has diversified, but our company has stayed true to our Elmira roots. Today, Hilliard maintains its original location while continually expanding its motion control and filtration product lines in the Elmira area. Hilliard designs and manufactures for companies around the globe, occupying more than 500,000 square feet and employing about 500 people. Taking pride in serving the Elmira.
So we have a new pitcher. It looks like it could be Ty Morgan, but I am very much not sure. That'll end McGee's day after 2 innings. 1 run allowed. And yeah, no, it is Ty Morgan. Ty Morgan's going to come onto the mound here. Or it could be Henry Tyler. Yeah, no, it's definitely Henry Tyler. My bad. Number 18. That's a really just tough number to read from this distance. Tyler has a 9 ERA. Through 25 innings. He's a starter generally. And they're going to be wanting to try for him to get through the bottom of the 10th. Shimoleski takes strike 1. Looked a little high, but just clipped the zone from the umpire's point of view. We're here in the bottom of the 10th. Shimoleski leading off, followed by Blake. And Odom. 1-1. That one fouled back. Count now 1-2. An exciting game to be back for. Pioneers extra inning baseball. Charles Shimoleski wanting to be a winning run to get on base for it. He's going to line it, and it gets by. Winning run is going to be at first. A leadoff single for Shimoleski. And that's going to bring up Aiden Blake. And even though Blake has done well tonight, I would not be surprised if Drum simply plays the odds and runs a sacrifice. He's not one to always do it, but it's these types of plays in this situation that actually do turn out well for the Pios. We'll have to see how it does with Aiden Blake, but I will say definitely watch out for it. Definitely watch out for Blake dropping something down here. He also has the speed to try to beat it out. He's going to take strike 1 on 1 count. 0-2 as that one, I think, is just tipped away. We know Olsovsky has the distance to go quite a few innings, so no reason, again, that he'd be replaced. I do have a feeling the Pioneers could try to pull Champa or a different, stronger pitcher out from the bullpen next if they need. Runner goes as this one's fouled off, so we do it again. Pretty sure it's still Chmielewski at first, whether they pinch random or not. I don't think they did. Yeah, no, it's Chmielewski. Oh, 2. Blake is going to send that one. That one looks square into the gap. And it's going to get down at the wall. Chmielewski rounding third, heading for home. It's Aiden Blake, his 4th double, and a walk-off for the Elmira Pioneers. 11-10. It took 10, but it's the perfect 10. Aiden Blake, a walk-off hero. Pioneers take the win at home. What a performance. The bounce back ability to take the victory here. And Aiden Blake, you know, Coach, you got to start him more. 4 for 5, 4 RBIs, and of course, crucially, the game winner. Unbelievable finish here. The Pios hang on against all the odds on a massive double from Aiden Blake to win 11-10. The Pios win. And what a first game back here for our streams and for me. Woo. The Pioneers take another win, and they are 1 game away from 500, 17-18. And I think they've just gotten 1 game closer to Geneva, Auburn, and Jamestown, which is huge in terms of fighting for the standings. The win will definitely go to Joel Olsovsky. The loss to Henry Tyler. But Olsovsky did the work. He put in the time, and even though he surrendered that 1 run in the 8th, he recovered through clean 9 and 10 to get the victory. The Pios on a massive Mandler triple, and later an Olsovsky sac fly, and here a Chmielewski single and huge base clearing double to win the game by Aiden Blake. I got a little maybe overexcited, but hey, it's the first walk-off of the season. The Pios take a huge victory, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow night. If not, we'll see you on the road in Batavia. I'm Taylor Storthy. Thank you again for tuning in. Have a good night.